the fire in that session. So the funny thing is that when you see somebody in I and Samuel met at NYSC camp, and for some reasons I was wondering why they gave him. He was our camp. Samuel, what did they call it? Because
Call cam director.
yes, I was wondering why they gave you. A part of me, I have something about competition, right? Especially with no gender. So I was like, why? What is so special about someone that they gave him? Where did they find him from? So unfortunately, so when we joined this, the match pass and all, and we were doing it, and me, I suddenly had fell ill and somehow wanted to faint, and they rushed me to the hospital. I said, that's why they did not give me. I cannot do this. That's why you are better. They gave it to you because it's not possible for me to go through this kind of stress, right? So at this particular moment, we are going to question and answer session, and I please help me appreciate Samuel for this for the first session. He spoke so I could not. It was just incredible. My notes were just filled up, and you can see beyond. Like he said, some people on the call, you don't know that they can give you job. When you see somewhere, you probably say, like he said that maybe he's not, you don't even know he's an incredible person, and it's not from now. The moment you see him in camp, you know that there's something special. And when it was time to take this mind and me, I knew that there was nobody else that could take it. So I saw some hands being raised. I saw some people raising there. If you have questions, you can drop them in the comment section. Meanwhile, there are some questions that actually came in prior to this session. So I'll be reading them. I think we just have 30 minutes, so we don't keep people so much on the call for us to take this question. So the first question that came in is, how do I stop overthinking everything people say or do?
So if I got that correctly, the first question is, how do I stop overthinking based on what people say
Or
about me?
yes.
Okay, okay. Um, very very important question. Um, and there is a two side to it. On one hand, you can say what people say doesn't matter. But I can tell you for a fact that it matters. What people say about you. Remember in our loop analysis where we said your thoughts influences your feelings influences your actions, and then your actions influences your behavioral patterns and also ultimately your the results you see. But the first question you must ask yourself is, what are people talking about? That is the first question you must ask. What are people saying about me? Are people saying what is wrong with what people are saying? Is my character questionable? You know that thing that happened when we're in school, when maybe a young lady, it is prevalent with young ladies now. When you dress very well, your skirt is almost touching your ankle. They give you a name. What we called wickedness by our parents is what is keeping us today. You just need to see these people from 13 to 19. You just need to see the way they act. The things you dare not do when you were young, those are the things they are doing now. Yes, we are the generation. You think you knew gadgets? No, these ones now, they have gadget, but anything that wants to appear as an inconvenience for them is none of their business. So ask yourself, what am I doing? If what you are doing is wrong, and you must know what is your reference point in life. To many of us in the faith in the face in the faith niche now, as Christians, scripture must be your cardinality. Scripture must be your true north. It must be your reference point. So what I am doing, is it consistent with scripture? Is it consistent with what God has said? If it is consistent, if it ticks all the boxes under God, you go ahead, because eventually at the end, it is as sure as a morning after a night that your life will be excellent. So The same energy you put into overthinking, oh, they say I am this. It could be about your body structure. It could be about your finances. People can say all manner of things, but you are a work in progress. So put in the work. Because either ways, at the end of your life, you are either confirming what they said or you are proving them wrong. But never give your enemies or naysayers the ability to justify their thoughts or what they have said. Always know that you have the opportunity to prove people wrong. So number one, ask yourself, what are you doing? Is it wrong under God? You cannot be doing what is wrong and people are talking about it, because 10 people cannot be wrong at the same time.
Hmm.
So ask yourself that question. If you answer that question, then I can tell you, go and sleep. Not go and be careless. Go and sleep. Don't worry about what people are saying. So I think for the sake of time, so we can take other questions, I will stop here.
Okay,
I
thank
hope.
you so much. I believed that actually answered your question. I really hope, because it was very clear to me. So another question came is that, how do I feel reframe thoughts when I feel unloved or unwanted in my relationships?
Okay. So how do I reframe my
Thoughts,
thoughts
yes, when I feel
when I
unloved
feel
or
unloved?
unwanted.
Okay. Let me say this. Do you know that you don't step into a relationship so they can love you? You step into a relationship so that you can exhibit what you have in you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes. That is the reason why relationship, because everybody is looking for who will love me. Love me the way I am. Love me the way I am doing this. No, no. Nobody is going to love you for who you are. It is only your parents, and it is if they had a way of chasing you out, maybe based on your bad character, they would have done that. But you come into a relationship carrying values and virtues. So when you exhibit that, I know it is not easy. And let me tell you, there is no such thing as you must be in one relationship. Is you are not pinned to a Google map. They did not pin you in one place that you must remain there. No. You see, relationship is two people having the same ideology, positive ideology, holding their hands together to say, we want to solve this problem. We want to move together. So you cannot be the person with the right mindset and the person with the wrong mindset is weighing you down, because eventually it cannot work. So love yourself first. The first point of love is with you first. So even Jesus said, love my sheep even as I have loved you. He said, husbands, love your wife even as Christ has loved the church. So he has shown you a template. Now subscribe to that template. It says, love your neighbor as yourself, not love your neighbor as your friend. Love your spouse as you love yourself. So the first love you must show is you. And if you must ask yourself the question, ordinarily, am I going to do this to myself? If no, then I should not do this to my spouse. Am I going to do this to my colleague? If no, then I should not do this to my colleague. So I think you must reframe that thought, learn to see it from a different perspective. And if it is not working, I remember I said something in the course of our presentation, and I said, learn to accept realities, but that you can change them for good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, I hope that we are getting this, because it's even covering some of other questions, and I'm grateful for that. So I'll reading the somebody sent a question in the chat, so that is what I'll be reading at the moment. Then we'll take others too. So let me read it. The person said that how do we get our people out of perpetual slavery, where most of the time mining companies in my state are not indigenous companies and our people work as laborers? That's the person is trying to, I think he's trying to get people out of slavery. And the second is, how do you manage relationship that people will want to take advantage of our relationship using us negatively? I think the person is afraid of being used in relationship. Yes,
Okay.
how to
All
maximize
right.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so a very, very important question. The first one, it says, how do we get our people out of perpetual slavery, where most of the tin mining companies in my state are not indigenous companies, people only work as laborers? Very important question, sir. And I want to I want to answer this question from a personal standpoint. You see, the Bible speaking in Genesis, it says there were four streams, and we all know them. Nobody gets wealthy functioning in one stream.
Mm,
You must diversify. Dangote is producing sugar, what now? Yeah, sugar, petrol. I think he's opening a coastal port now in Ogun State and all that. Now, our people must realize that tin mining is not the only avenue for financial upliftment. We must come to that realization. And it is the same thing with Nigeria. We must know that crude oil is not the only thing that we have to offer. Take, for instance, Germany. Germany, 90% or thereabout of the cars they produce, they import the raw materials and then they develop it and sell it out. Take, for instance, China. So we have, in fact, the number one resource, and that is why this topic is very important. I was speaking a few days and I said there are communities, there are people that the high income skills now that we have in our present day, our people don't do them. When you tell people now, there are communities that when you start looking for a programmer, you will not find one. When you start looking for a videographer, you will not find one. When you start looking for a UI UX designer, you will not find one. When you start looking for people who are into renewable energy, recycling, you will not find one. And you see, when you subscribe to things that fall from the table, you are going to eat from the floor. So if you want to effect change, if you want to save people, you must climb above them. You must start doing things that will bring people up. Nobody helps another person when you are at a common level. When I want to lift you up, I don't sit down on the floor and say I want to take you up. It is easier for me from an elevated standpoint to pick you in terms of help. So we must also know if tin mining is the mainstay in our state, then we must know what does it take. Why can't we open up a scholarship system that sends people to school with strategic courses in mind, to say no, you go and learn architecture, you go and learn engineering, you go and learn aeronautics engineering, you go and learn renewable energy and the likes. Things that we must be vision focused to look in the future, not just now. Because if a coal mining has gone down, I don't know if we have any train in Nigeria that still runs on coal. China has developed hyperloop. So we must look into the future. Let it not be that our focus is just within all of these things. And even when we say we want to do tin mining now, how do we inform our people that it is not just something you get money today? You see, everybody is crazy about money now. What keeps people poor is because they don't have the discipline and the patience to wait in a venture. So the first step will be diversify. Number two, and where are the areas you are diversifying into? Areas where you must learn to make money even when you are sleeping. That is how you can. Nobody makes money through 1 plus 1. You make money through investment. There is only one way money multiplies, and it is through investment. If you are investing, you must not own a company. You can start up collectively as a community. We can start up a firm. We have what it takes to do that. You can start up a tin mining firm, a gold mining firm. You can start an engineering firm, a borehole drilling firm. We can start from the grassroots. We can start by taking our commodities from the farm and diversifying. Before you will find somebody that will want to harness what tin as a resource will do, you have already found 10 people that need to eat food in the morning. So we must diversify into the low-hanging fruits and then set medium development plans and then long-term development plans. Sorry, I took a minute. I don't know if I can look at the second question now that says, how do we manage relationships that people will want to take advantage of our relationship using us negatively? You see, people always use people when the people that are being used do not know the value of themselves. It is true. Many people left jobs because they realized, oh, I am better than this, not pride. And I think I saw this Kagan, who is a phone reviewer, a tech enthusiast, and also an influencer. He said something. He said 3 years ago, he told himself that anybody who brings a job for 100,000 naira, he might slap you with your 100,000 naira. And 3 years ago, I thought maybe that was pride. But not because we have all the money today, but because we know our value. You know your onions. If you want to do something that is free, you are doing it because it's free. You are
Yeah.
sowing into that person's life. But somebody should not. That is why you must design a system in your life that there is restriction to access. Not because everybody just knows you and say, and people guilt trip others because, oh, you are my friend, you are supposed to do this for me. No, no. If you know, and it starts with you asking for that relationship. If you know that even professionally this thing requires payment, pay for it. Come true. I have friends that are music producers. Many of them can come in, and when they start to share their experience, people still want to record songs for 5,000 naira. People still want to get video being edited for 5,000 naira. The same way people still look for urgent 2K, and now they have turned it into urgent 5K. Other people still want you to give and forget. So you must know who you are, what you have, and subscribe the discipline to say no without feeling bad. You can say no and you mean no without apology. There are people that come. Have you seen people come to borrow money from you? Oh no, they can speak all the English, write all the essay and the preamble, then they ask for money. And you know one thing with people that have good minds and want to help, when it is time to ask for their money, they don't even know how to ask for the money. Someone like me, if you borrow money from me, but this is not now that you should borrow money from me. Before I'll tell you send money back, I would sit down and I have given it thoughts over and over again. There are many of us we are like that here. There are monies we never got back. Is it an emotional relationship? If you are taking advantage of, leave that relationship. Set boundaries, set standards. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you. Please help me appreciate though if you are feeling this, if you are getting wisdom out of what is being dished out tonight. Please, 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 please. Let me see your appreciation. Or we'll close here. Oh. Other people will not receive the answer. All right, so let me read the second one. It says the third, I think the third. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Gina. Why do I keep attracting the same kinds of toxic relationship? That's the person question.
Wow. Why do I keep
Yes, the
attracting the
same kind
same?
of people. Yes, every time. I think
Okay.
they are packaged in different sets, but they still turn out to be the same kind of persons.
Okay. So let me say this now. Um, there must be something in you that people feel they can connect with. I'll give you a true life story. Just this evening, while I was preparing for called me and told me someone were trying to help a couple of days ago. And you see, there is this thing about foresight that you can see something. It has nothing to do with gray hair. It has everything to do with God's wisdom. So they told me we need to help this person, give him an accommodation and all of that. So I told the person, I said, what I have seen in this person, it will cause problem. So just a few minutes before I came live on this meeting, they told me that 2 days ago the person was arrested by police. I said, really? He said, yes. I said, okay, well, I said it, and all that. So why am I trying to say this? There is something in you. There, do you know that there is no way you as a God-fearing person, morally upright person, not self-acclaimed righteousness now, you cannot position yourself in a way and then any person will just find access to you. Let me give you a typical example. When you were in school, you realize that the people that we consider are the first class people, they always have their own friends that they work with, because something must be a connection, something must be. If there is toxic relationship, it could be that you are always around an environment where people are always there, those kinds of people are always there. It can be that you dress in a way that attracts them. He says the enemy came, but he found nothing that is of him that is in me. There must be something that is in you that, that is the thing. You cannot be carrying tattoo and you are expecting that there is nothing wrong with tattoo, but there is the people that is what they like. You cannot tint your hair in a way, you have leg chain in a way, you do this, and I'm not condemning anybody, but there are indicators, there are indices. So that when somebody comes to tell you, I like you, and then the person is looking at you, he's already trying to validate what he likes that is in you. So there must be something he is seeing. If not, from hello, there is a reception. And I'm not saying that you should be, uh, too difficult now, but there must be something the person is saying. It can be, oh, I like people that usually would want to talk, the people that talk very well. Then before you know, relationship start. 2 weeks, they say this person self it too they talk. That is how it is in marriage. Oh, I like a woman that is, upright, that can say this, can say that. You express yourself, you say your mind. 1 year into the marriage, the same person you like, you talk one, the person talks 10. You say, I don't like this, I don't do this. So there must be something in you. There must be something in you. And it can also be your desires. You see, anybody that is going to be toxic has an advantage over you. Part of those advantages, one is financial advantage. If the person does all the things for you, I don't know if you're a lady with the question, but if the person is the one paying your house rent, the person is the one that is feeding you, he gave you everything technically, the person will require or demand some level of submission or allegiance. And if you are not giving it wholeheartedly or freely, he would want to command it. Respect is not commanded, it is aimed. So when people don't earn it freely, most of the times they want to forcefully take it. So sometimes they might have to beat somebody through it. I think I had two married women one time having a conversation. One was complaining that the husband was beating her every day. The one that they are not beating said, you are even grateful that your husband beats you because it is the one you love that you chastise. All manner of things like that. So there are people that, yes, what communicates love to them is when they are when they are subjected to those kind of things. But if you don't like that, identify what is in you that is in that person, and then you must nullify that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Somebody sent question, and the person, I think, Hannah, will you like to say something? I think you've raised your hand about 3 times now. Will you like to speak to ask your question? I think your hand is also still raised, or is it an error?
All right, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Please, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you, so you can ask your
All
question.
right, thank you. Yeah, so my question is actually related to career. Like for someone that is just starting out, you're a recent graduate and you're just trying to place what you will do. You just have so many things you can do, and you have so many things, you have so many passions. I don't even know how to put it. And you now trying to pinpoint or trying to now narrow yourself down to one thing you really want to face. Like, how can you really get to that point? Because at times you just see this, you be like, okay, I can do this, I can do this too, and you're just applying for anything that look like okay. So how do you carve a niche for yourself in the midst of having so many things to do? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, can I take that?
Yes, yes, it's all you.
Okay, all right. Um, I said something that you must have a reference point. And for me, particularly, everything comes from the lens of scripture. So Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I can do all things does not mean you must do all things. I can shows ability. Shows ability. Ephesians 3:20, it says, now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly far above that which we ask, think, or even imagine. That you can do all things does not mean you must do all things. But you must identify what are the low-hanging fruit. And let me tell you, passion never feeds anybody. Passion doesn't feed you. Passion only influences your drive. A passion is what separates an action or a task from it being just difficult. So when you meet two people doing the same thing, one can be passionate about it, he can do it for 10 hours straight and not complain. The other person can now start complaining. So the first thing is you must identify through the help of God what is the thing that is important. Major on the important things, other things can follow. Just the way the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom, and every other thing can come in as a bonus. So, what exactly? And let me tell you, let passion not be the only indices that fuels your decision to start something. Because if you start one day, your passion will be weak. So, what happens when your passion is weak? You must translate your passion into what can solve problems. Money is not what people have because they have it. It is the result that they are doing something good and something valuable. So you can have 1,001 things. You want to start a business, you want to start a job, you want to get a job, you want to start a family. You cannot start a family now. You don't have a job. There is no stream of income. There is nothing because you believe he who finds a wife has obtained favor from God. Abi? But you must identify what is the first thing. What is the first thing? Let me develop a system around my life. So, what are the things? What are those things you can do? Write them out. What are the things I can start now? If I start this one now, when not permutation and combination now. If I start this one now, what are the requirements? What do I need to put in place? You cannot say you want to start a business, for instance, and your initial startup capital is, say, maybe 200 million, 100 million naira, for instance. You don't have any grant, you don't have you've not written any proposal to Bank of Industry. So you, first of all, you must identify where you are, then start small. That whole concept of do things big, I know is good, but it has ruined people's destinies. Then the most practical thing I must tell you is identify what are your low hanging fruits. What are your midterm plans? What are your long term plans? Start small, build, and then you can explode. And then the next thing again is identify what are your strengths. For anything you can do, you must have strengths, and then there are also weaknesses. So identify the strengths, the weaknesses, what are the opportunities around that thing you want to do, around all of the things you can do. Then you major on the major things. Because if you decide to take things just based on passion, you might start, but the end would be very, very delicate.
Thank you so much. Hannah, was he able to answer your question? Thank you so much. So much, sir. Hannah, are you still with us? You can leave a comment if you are still with us. We'll be taking the okay. Hannah said okay. Yeah, good, good. So I agree with you knowing who you are and setting boundaries. But if you do, how do you get connected to the right people? I was told for you to climb, there must be a point people use you. Ah,
Okay. So that is true. Um you see, nobody grows in isolation. That is true. So you must be out there. People must know what you do. I believe strongly that before today, many people don't know I speak and I speak professionally. Many people don't know that I speak and I speak professionally. Now, you cannot just remain within that small community and all of that. And you know, one tool we have at our beck and call now, social media. Many people think it is only when you have 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers that you can put out what you do. No, you can start from that WhatsApp status. Let your WhatsApp status not just be strictly memes. Every time is cruise. In fact, there are people that they are known for cruise. Every time you see them upload a status, you know there is nothing important. Do you know there are people that, based on the integrity they have built for themselves, if they tell you tomorrow Monday they post this night that there is public holiday, you know there is a 40% chance that you can believe what they are saying. You know it's wrong, but this person has a track record of saying what is true. You start having that belief. Let it be like that with that small skill that you have. Somebody will refer you. In fact, let me tell you something. There was a job somebody referred me to or for. It's not because I know the person. It was when we were in school. I was just teaching and I was teaching for free. I taught from 100 level, I was teaching for free, 200 level, teaching for free, 300, 400. At 400, I was teaching some master students and I was still teaching 400 level. To the point where my lecturers will see, maybe we're having tutorials in the class and they have a lecture, lecturers having a lecture. They will say, no, 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 no. It's Luka that is teaching. If you can align, let's go and use a different class. Now, that is because you have built something for yourself. So start that way, identify what it is that you have, and add creativity to it, add your uniqueness to it, and then have integrity. There are many people you cannot do business with. People are looking, do you know, you will always use somebody of integrity than somebody of skill. somebody of character than somebody of skill. There are people that are very, very skillful but very rude. You now wonder why people don't get referrals. You everything you want to do, if you want to start a business, if you start today, there is always one person that is looking for that skill. It's like you looking for a car just by the roadside. You buy a car today, 5 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning, just start driving up. People will want to stop you. So start that way. All you need, it takes one person for you to solve a problem, and there is a referral. Once you do what people cannot do for themselves, you get paid. And that is your starting point. That is your first step on the ladder. When you solve, and I must say this to answer your question and just to add, whose problem you solve matters a lot. When you solve the problem of a king, you get a king's reward. When you solve the problem of a governor, you get a governor's reward. You can solve same problem for two different people, the reward, because they reward you based on what they have. Are we together? So start small, but know that there is always room to get better. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I also want to add to that, for you to be connected to the right people, you may have to, I don't know if you're a Christian, but sometimes you may have to call forth your 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 people spiritually to you. That and as Luca said, when you just surround yourself, you do the right thing. While you are doing that, you should also remember that a city set on hill cannot be hidden. So there are some scriptures you have to deliberately inject into your life to work for your good. You get. So it may also be, you may have to do physical own and also in do spiritual own too, that it has to actually call. Right. So to the next question. Okay, Samuel and Luca is raising up. Samuel, can we have your question, please?
Okay, it's me. Sorry about that. I
No.
just want to, I'm sorry we are having this here, but part of the networking thing we are going to do, especially for most people who are here, just as we talk about networking and connection, would want to have, say, maybe a compilation of what we do for many of us that joined in today, because we need to know what you also do. We get, questions. Do you have who can offer this skill? Do you know somebody who is a videographer? All of this, there are people looking for this skill, that skill every day. So after this meeting, I think we might create a Google form so that you fill out, and then we'll have a pool, maybe like some sort of directory.
Yeah.
And every time we can always, get you referred. I think that is consistent with what the Almond brand is for. And personally, I'm also going to make out some of those referrals and recommendations.
Yes,
Thank you.
please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Samuel, let's have your question, please. Can be quick. We have about 20 more minutes to go. Yeah, Samuel, you have the floor. You can unmute your mic and speak. Okay, Hannah said she's having a network issue. Okay, Samuel, I don't know if you're mistakenly raising up your hand, but I will take the other question that we have here to our guests. So this question says, why do I always assume the worst in situations or people?
Um, why why do you always assume the
Yeah.
worst, you know,
In situation, I
in
think
terms
the person just wants to just see person, is just waiting for the person to do something bad, even when
of,
they have not
okay.
done anything yet.
Um, Number one, the reason why you do that is from past experiences. I must say that. I believe strongly that it is from past experiences. How? You have been in situations where, how do you expect that somebody is going to fail if you have not experienced failure before?
Yeah.
How do you expect that somebody might not come out well in an event if you have not been in a situation where you have seen firsthand? There are many of us that, let me tell you something, it's one of the things with us in Africa. It's a mindset, it's a prevalent mindset. Do you know that when somebody falls sick of a particular thing, do you know you're already cross-referencing all the other people that have, suffered from that thing? Even when you go to see the person in the hospital, you're already saying, and this other person that died, you might be saying it in your mind. This other person that died is this thing that killed him. Oh, you are not saying it. It is experiences. And let me tell you, the mind, one of the things it screenshots is that it screenshots negativity. It is very easy for your mind to hug and hold on to negative thoughts than positive thoughts. Do you know how many people were celebrating over the death of the former president? Yes. But when you look at it, you would see that it's a very delicate issue. You cannot say, oh, no, you are happy somebody died. No, but because of experiences. So that is the reason why you must change and reframe your thoughts. I give you an example again. Many people are so scared of going for interviews because the last time they went for an interview, they didn't get the job. So you see people watching videos. It's good. Watch videos that tells you, oh, this is how you should comport yourself. But you cannot fake what is not there. Why fake what you can eventually make real? Grow through the process. So when you see people, let me tell you, anticipate that people can give certain outcomes. But then prepare a platform that even when people fumble, there is a system that corrects it. That is what parenting is. That is what leadership is. That is what friendship is. That is what relationship is. That people can fumble, people can make errors, but when they make the error, there is a system that accommodates that. There are many people that when you see them, it's not forgiveness that you offer them, it is forbearance. You cannot forgive a talkative. You can only forbear with a talkative. If you are in a relationship and the person is a talkative, you cannot. God has given you what the Lord give it, He takes. So you wait until the day that God takes it away. So that is the thing. So you must know that there are two things: one, forgiveness; number two, forbearance. Forgiveness and forbearance. And then let me tell you something: always look out and expect for the best from people. Let me tell you. Do you know what expecting negativity from people means? Because when it happens, I talk am. I said it.
I said it.
I said it. So, but let it be that you have been expecting something good. Learn to look out because, see, let me tell you, my friend said something. He said, every time people succeed, it means success is within the neighborhood. So, if you succeed today, if Unaya is because success is around our
Neighborhood.
neighborhood, it is around our sphere. Look out for the friend of a king will always have access to the palace. So always know that there are possibilities, positive possibilities. Expect the good. So you must. That is why you must thank God you came for this event today. So you must reframe your thoughts when you see people, even when you know they are going to fail. One time I gave somebody, wow, you know this thing that happens once you ask children a question and you say 6 times 5, and you see them do like this. Just know it's gone. There is nothing that is coming. You know they are going to fail, but eventually you must believe the process. You must, and that is why you must not lose hope in your country. You must not lose hope in what you are doing. You must not lose hope in your career. You know that, oh yes, people, there is no success rate, but my own is going to be different. So that is all I have to say about that. Thank you.
Hello, I'm on now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So, Samuel, please go on. Please, I hope we're getting all this. Yes, Samuel, we can hear you.
Hello, the speaker, Mr. Gyok, and my sister Ifunanya. My own is not a question. I've already asked my question. My own is appreciation. I really want to appreciate what you guys are doing. As you know, these are the things we need at this moment. I want you guys to open up this to be more wider. I don't want the cycle to become so shrink. I want this cycle to carry almost everybody in Nigeria, so that the youth, this teaching you are giving us, is very, very important because it's highly an enlightenment. I'm highly, you know, I'm happy with this. I'm very happy. My brother Gyok, I really appreciate this. Ifunanya, may God bless all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Samuel, we've gotten hints, so we are making this wider, aren't we? Thank
Of
you.
course, we're doing this.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel, for
Sorry,
that.
I don't know if
Thank you,
I'm
Mr. Samuel.
opportune to speak.
Okay, Israel, you can. Then Rebecca will take a question next. Yes.
Okay, it's not really Israel. There's a mixed up somewhere, so my Google is reading someone's name though.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, but it's Musa Dalasondi,
Okay,
popularly
welcome,
known as
Mr.
Blue Man. Yeah, Gyok is my brother, and ever since he messaged me pertaining this particular program, like seriously, I felt there's something something unique coming up, and I must really commend your effort, the guest speaker and then the host. Truly, these are things that we really, just like Mr. Samuel said. Sorry, I don't know if you're getting me.
Yes, we are. We are.
Well, with you.
Okay, okay.
Well, with you.
Just like the guest speaker said, that's Mr. Samuel Maguda. These are things that we, the youths of today, want to be seeing and want to be hearing. Things that will motivate us to do better.
Yeah.
And when initiatives like this comes up, it's not just for our personal usage. We can also extend it to our families, relatives,
Yes.
communities, society at large, and then the country. And then gradually, when we create that awareness, it begins to tell the people that, okay, these are the right steps you need to take towards making a better nation, towards making a better self, towards making a better community. Personally, I had wanted adding up something, but briefly, let me just summarize it in just 2 lines. A popular African American scholar known as Molefi Asante is an African American from Ghana. Has said something one time that I listened to him. He said, "We Africans must let." You spoke about superiority and inferiority feeling. That's mindset that we Africans always have towards ourselves. That the Western nation are really doing better than us, or they are better than us always. But then he said something. He said, we as Africans must see ourselves as the center of attraction, whereby the whole world looks up to us for any growth, any issue of growth or development of the world entirely. And for us to really do that, we must have that feeling. It should be intuitive. It should come inside of us that we can do better as a people. And once we have that mindset, I believe whatever you do as a person, you need to be positive always. You need to be positive as a person in whatever you do. And you need to set your calculations straight. So thank you very much for these teachings. Like, you have said a lot and I have jotted a lot. I have a lot to even go through this night. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Musa. That was such inspire. It was an inspiring speech, and I believe it's a message to all Africans, and even to always know that even anywhere we find ourselves, we should not forget this message and bring home to where we are. Yes. So thank you so much, Musa, for not keeping that to yourself and sharing it with us all. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So Rebecca has a question. What can one do in a situation where you really don't have passion for something, no matter how hard you try? Whereas people think you are just lazy. Is it a matter of the mind too, or should the person just focus on something else?
Hmm. Very, very technical. Very, very technical. So I don't know. It's This question is coming from a lady.
Yes, it
So
is.
I just want to use a very funny example now. I don't know. We know in the football world now, two people have dominated, the football space for such a long time. That's Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. And it's just my personal opinion, just to answer the question. On one hand, other people believe that Lionel Messi is talented. It is God's gift to him as football. On the other hand, they believe that Ronaldo is who he is today as a result of hard work and dedication and commitment. And we see that. But let me tell you, talent without hard work will create a casualty. You have talent, you have a very sound mind, a magnetic mind that you can just get anything anytime. You should also be disciplined. So even when you feel that it's a thing of the mind, you must be focused to say, in this niche, I want to do it and see. And let me tell you something. Um, Let it be that you are not doing trial and error. There's a difference between trial and error and you are committed to a task. You don't go to school to try and see if the school will work. Then if it doesn't work, you leave after second semester 100 level. No. You are in school, even when you are seeing, even when your result is looking like sulfur notation, far, 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 you know, before the first dough will come as D, you know you still want to go through it with it. So you should be disciplined. You should be disciplined. You should tell yourself that I want to remain and walk this thing through. Because how many times are you going to quit a venture to start a new one if it doesn't work? Your life is too precious for that level of trial and error. You cannot be starting a new thing. Today you start this business. And I think I was speaking with somebody a few days ago, and the person said a business that started when I think last month or thereabout or 2 months ago. And the person was already saying there's no profit in this work. I said, no, 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 no. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. Jesus did ministry for 3.5 years. So it means the only time you can start complaining that you have not seen increase is when you have tried something for at least 3.5 years. If you have not recorded the first success, no breakthrough, nothing, nothing, then you can now fall back to the drawing board and question yourself, what am I doing that I'm doing it wrong? Quitting should not be your first alternative. It should be that I try that thing again, but differently. That is why the word is called repent. Repent means do it again, but this time with God. You could have been doing something differently. I know how many times we have tried to solve statistics, we have tried to do things, and they have given you endpoints for you. Most of you that are chemistry students. You are seeing that this is the final goal, but you try to do and this thing doesn't work. You do it again. You don't quit. So many of you, it is a mindset. Running away should not be the first thing that you do. The moment is not working, it's not that you should quit, it's that you should do it, but do it correctly. Subscribe to the thinking patterns that influence success. And I must say this, associate yourself with people. There are friends that the moment you say, I'm going to give up on this thing, they encourage you. They will say, no, 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 drop it. Don't do this thing. Don't do it. You think they are supporting you. It is so that you can become like us. So that when we now sit down at the table of failure, we're saying, at least you can see all of us here, we have failed. So it becomes a succor. It becomes a theology that inspires and motivates failure. So don't give up. Let it not be that giving up is the only thing that is in your cupboard. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And to add to that, I will share a story, Rebecca. So everybody naturally think that I'm a rapper. Probably because probably because I do love rap music very well. So I once I listen, I tend to rap exactly what I had, right? So but deep inside me, I knew I'm much is better singer than a rapper because rapping I cannot rap it cannot come from my spirit. It always had to be somebody rap. But music, I can stay on my own and the spirit, I'm just humming notes and writing lyrics to those notes, right? And even when I'm listening to a singer, I can tell when something is wrong somewhere and I can tell when they wrote that music by the flesh. So because of that, I knew. But and when I say that somebody says a lie, you can rap, you're not a good singer, and I was like, the thing made me for a time. I reduced the way I sang. But when I came over to where I am right now, it just started flowing, and people were like, you're really a great singer, really great, and that's what I figured out. Nobody know you like you do, right? That is one thing. But when people say something, you should not stop it because people are trying to make you into what they think you will be, or people have a version of you that they have in their mind, right, that suits what is comfortable for them. So some people are comfortable with me being Ife Minaj. I don't want to be Ife Minaj. Yeah, I'm Ifunanya for myself. But I'm much so when I just it started with, do you know the funny thing? It started with me singing in the bedroom. And somebody be like, this you have quite a great voice. This I was like, this is something that if I tried, they would say, because I tried singing in public one time and they were like, that was not nice. But the thing is that it's not that it was not nice, the audience was not right for that song. They did not get what that song was. And it was a song by Deborah Paul Enenche. So the audience and the place I picked was not positioned for that song at that moment. So the people you are surrounded with at that moment may not be right for who you are. They may not be right. That moment, that gift that you think is inside of you, that you have passion for something else different, may not be the audience you're supposed to be speaking to. You may have to remove yourself from that audience. That's another thing. And since you said that you have a you're not having passion for this particular thing and people are saying it, what do you have passion for? Don't you know there's something someone said today that it's not just about no. And how did you even put it? And they said that the thing will come. I'm trying to remember what he said. Put hint on what you like. Don't just know that say that okay, it's not what I want. Don't be hinting on what they say that you are not good in. Go for the one, find the one that you are good in and stay there. Be humming it the way I was humming it in the bedroom. Keep on humming it. In your life, never allow your song, your passion to stop. Don't stop humming. I was telling Holy Spirit one day that even if things get tough and I'm tired and I cannot hold his hand anymore, her last thing is last, I will hold his garment. I'll be holding the garment. So don't allow situation in life or anything to stop you from humming. So find your home. Find that thing that you keep on humming until somebody say, ha, you are good in this thing. And even if nobody say it, until the Lord decide to look for Joseph, no, David, you get. The only audience sometimes can be God in heaven that know that thing that is beating inside of your spirit, that humming. David kept humming by killing the lion, killing the bear. So until the Lord said that this girl has been humming, see, Samuel will not rest until we anoint Rebecca. We must bring her from that place of that humming so that the whole heads can see the home. So that Rebecca can kill 10,000. David killed was humming with only bear and lion, and God said we need to bring him to where he can hum to 10,000s and kill. So don't allow other people to give you an opinion of who you are not. You get. Your audience too, like someone said tonight, our speaker, our guest said, your audience may be another thing. They may be comfortable with you quitting at that this thing, and they may be comfortable with the version that they want to see you as, and that should be something. So find your home and find that thing that is trigger. Don't allow the one that are saying that you're not good in to be the thing that is louder in your head. Let the one that is you want to be known as be the one that is louder in your spirit. So we have about, I think, let me see. I don't know if that was able to answer your question. We had one more question, and maybe I'll have to send it to someone, and someone will send it back to them. Marian, do you want to say something so that we can wrap this Q&A session? Or we should take the last question so the person that sent it will not feel offended. Marian, you want to say something? If you are still busy, let's take this last question. So, Samuel, this last question said that, how can I show up better in my relationship when I'm still struggling mentally?
Wow. uh, okay. How can you show up better
Yeah, we
in
have
your
7 minutes. Let's
relationship?
be quick.
Okay, all right. So let me be fast. Well, you just answered the question in your question. You can't show up when you are struggling mentally.
Wow.
You can't give what you don't have. Yeah, you cannot give what you don't have. Remember, I told you relationships are not places. They are not hospitals. Relationships are not hospitals. Yeah, you don't see hospitals flying around looking for who they are going to see. If you feel you are sick enough and you desire care, you go to the hospital. Now you know you there is something wrong. Change yourself first before, so you don't appear as a liability. That is the essence why you must transform yourself first. So change yourself first. You can't show up. There is no long preamble to this. You cannot show up when you have deficiencies. But I'm not saying you must be perfect before you are in a relationship. No. Identify what you have that can influence your decisions, and then you forge ahead. And I must say this, please, if I have my elder brother who has just queued up and wants
Yes,
to
yes.
appreciate. So
It's
please,
fine.
before we go,
It's fine. Please, you can
all
go on.
right.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope I'm being heard.
Evening. Yes, thank you so much.
Ifunanya, I really appreciate you. My younger brother, well done for this effort.
every one of you that have been on this program, I greet you all. My a little story. You may have to forgive me. I am more a writer than a speaker. I have been doing inspirational writing for over the years. I've been doing that for many youth group, and I've gathered so many experience in business. I am fortunate. I want to share my story as an inspiration, but it's going to be brief. I want young men and women to believe in themselves. Believe in yourself. Until you start, you cannot get it right. And like the speakers said, mentorship is very key. Many of us refuse to be mentored, and it's a big problem for us in this country. That is why foreigners are taking up our jobs. I belong to the construction industry, and to the glory of God, I went through mentorship for 7.5 years. And God used men, good men, because I was very naive. I started working at the age of 22. And in that 7.5 years, I was clocking 29. Uh, God inspired me based on the people I worked for. At that age, many people from my kind of background weren't thinking that they can break through, weren't thinking that they can establish a company. But I did that, and in a very difficult terrain. We are from Plateau, but I had the opportunity of growing in the southeast, Enugu precisely. I was educated here and started my mentorship here. To the glory of God, in 2005, we set up a company. I and my dad, I chose my dad as a director because I really wanted to be. So I needed someone very, very close. And I went into the trenches. For so many years, many people in my community, many people in my environment may not know me until much later. And why? I was in the gym. Let me use that palace. I was in the gym, exercising, doing all I could to pull the company. To the glory of God, today we own Real Efficient Aluminum Metal Systems Limited, which just clocked 20 years on the 11th of July. We also own Hilt and Parks Services that also renders certain specialized services in the construction industry. We also own Fitzroy Utilities Enterprise. I had to take up a course on facility management some years back, and I'm a licensed and a chartered facility manager. So I set up a firm that when the opportunity comes, is an online um, air ticketing firm. When you are done, just Google Dreams Travels, you will find my details there. I don't want to occupy yourself with all this success, but they didn't come easy. Many people will have given up on the way, but I persevered. And one key thing I want to leave here, please, whatever you're building, if you don't have integrity, you will never go anywhere. Why people can trust all my companies is that in these 20 years, there have never been any crisis, even have never been any project failure. And I've been speaking to a whole lot of people. Don't say you are from a poor background. A whole lot of persons, when they give you their stories, you will be amazed. Many of you today are in a better position. I am of the generation that grew up in the early 80s and early 90s. I went to school and all
Yes,
that.
so
So that is it.
yeah,
I want to encourage you people, please, if I keep it up, by mentioning your name, I think I've heard your name severally.
yeah,
I didn't know you were the one when I saw the program. I didn't know you're the one, but thank you very much, and I really appreciate. May God continue to bless you guys, and may God continue to
amen.
uplift you guys. Let this
The meeting has ended.